Now, on local lockdowns, as the government's facing open revolt from leaders in the north of England over new coronavirus restrictions due to be announced within days. Pubs, bars and restaurants across Merseyside, Greater Manchester and parts of the northeast of England could be forced to close next week in an attempt to slow the rising infection rate. Mayors, MPs and council leaders in the north say they fiercely oppose any new measures without substantial financial support. Well, joining me now is the Conservative MP for Rossendale and Darwen, Jake Berry. Also with us is David Fox, who owns 4 restaurants in Manchester. Very warm welcome to the programme to both of you. If I might start with you, David Fox, just your initial reaction when you heard that news, first of all, about the potential changes being brought in next week.
It's nothing less than a complete, utter shambles. The kind of management flows of information is just ridiculous. You know, I've got 150 staff. What am I supposed to say to them? My rotas have been set. What do I say to my butcher, my fresh produce supplier? It's just an utter shambles. And the wastage that's going to happen and the uncertainty and the knock-on impact of that is just catastrophic. And it's just ridiculous. We need leadership and none of it is coming.
But you don't oppose the idea of a lockdown in itself, do you? Lots of people arguing, well, in fact, you know, scientists arguing much harder lockdowns are necessary in order to protect the NHS and save lives.
Yeah, protect the NHS, flatten the curve. You know, one thing is certain, that all models are wrong, but some are useful. We've seen lots of epidemiologists and they're really important, but where are the behavioural psychologists? Where are the reasonable, rational people making decisions that will have the right consequences for us all working together? And none of that has been forthcoming. There was a huge amount of goodwill from the hospitality industry that given because of the support they've given, but it's just disappearing. And what you're seeing is then people are going to reluctantly follow rules and lose sight of what we're trying to achieve here. And that's what really, really worries me. I'm sure anyone that's been eaten out in a COVID-safe way feels the same about it. And it's just a bit of a shambles at the moment, really.
Well, let's bring in the MP, Jake Berry, then. What do you make of those comments that the Prime Minister and the government are lacking leadership in all of this?
Well, I've got real sympathy with David. Or study the businesses in Rossendale and Darwen.
We appear to be having a few problems hearing you. I don't know if there's anything we can do. I'm just asking my team. But in the meantime, I'll just go back to you, David, and put another question to you. You know, lots of criticism floating around about the lack of clarity in terms of what the plans are for next week. The papers having been briefed about these changes before lots of local mayors and, in fact, councillors had been told anything about it, and indeed business owners. How do you feel about that?
I just think it's just a shame. Like I say, you know, most people out there, I fundamentally believe, whether they're business owners or whether that's the team that work for me, want to do the right thing. And I think with a lack of direction and leadership, it's really hard to do that. And I think we then get into slightly messy territory when that isn't coming. But like I say, we feel let down as an industry that it's not based on evidence. We need to see the evidence. Please share it with us. As far as we're aware, it's happening in care homes, in educational settings. You're seeing it happening at universities. You know, is the infection rate going to go down with people not going out? I don't buy that. I don't buy that, because we have worked hard as an industry to be COVID safe. So share the evidence. Let's all be grown up about it.
OK, let's give it another go and see if we've improved the line to Jake Berry. I just want to put that question to you again then, whether or not you agree with David Fox that there has been a lack of leadership in this.
Well, I didn't hear everything David said, but I have real sympathy with the restaurant industry, including
Unfortunately, the line's just not good enough in order to be able to hear what you have to say there. So let's focus our attentions for now with you, David Fox, and talk about, you know, how you're going to survive all of this. You know, it does seem certainly inevitable, if not next week, but whenever it does get announced that this lockdown is coming your way. What sort of financial support will you need in order to make your business survive?
Well, my weekly wage bill is over £40,000 a week, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist or an epidemiologist to work out that I'm not going to be in a position to be able to afford that for very long. So unless you want to see even more redundancies and mass closures, there needs to be some kind of financial support that comes at the same time, because this is. I fundamentally believe this has not happened because we are not COVID safe. That is one thing, and it's a given that this is being forced on me by government. So I'm being forced not to trade for reasons that I feel at the moment are wrong, unless I can be provided with the evidence. So a financial package has to come simultaneously. If they know it's going to happen, Rishi needs to step up to the plate and come up with some solutions.
One suggestion that the Prime Minister hasn't announced this lockdown today is because there is disagreement within the Cabinet about what to do. Rishi Sunak's department arguing they simply can't afford as a nation to do more substantial lockdowns. The Treasury cannot be bailing out lots of companies like yours. Do you accept that there is a limited amount that governments can do and that these are unprecedented circumstances? Or would you like to see the Treasury helping more?
I think where businesses are forced to close, I think it's ludicrous to think that they shouldn't help. This is a once-in-a-lifetime situation. I've said before, in pre-COVID times, my company, my business gave £100,000 a month to the Treasury in the form of VAT, in the form of rates, in the form of duty, in the form of PAY and NIC. What I want to do is to go back to doing that. And what most hospitality businesses want to do is to go back to doing that. So it makes actually good, commercial, prudent business and fiscal sense to support us in this once-in-a-lifetime situation, so we can come out the other end and continue employing people and continue paying the huge taxes that this sector does.
OK, David Fox, really good to hear from you this evening. We wish you the very best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.